Oh, it's time. Okay. All right. Okay, we are live. Always very exciting. Oh, we have to get our music going. Start that. Can't forget the music. All right. Hey guys. Super exciting to be starting our Wednesday crafting cocktails together. I have a co-host with me this week, my friend Talia.
Hi!
And we're going to be working on this project together, which I'm really excited about because I'll have some company along with you guys. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I put up a video kind of already showing what we were going to be working on with our collage and ink. We're going to stick with the ink because it's Inktober, so we incorporated it. It was actually one of Talia's suggestions, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And I always love working with cut paper, construction paper. So construction paper, magazines, craft paper, scrapbook paper, anything that has a cool print or pattern. So we already have the kind of the split camera going so you could see both of us working. Yeah, we're just gonna get into it. We were just talking right before this started about our conceptual development for this piece, and we are still working on it.
Yeah, I think that with the collage, that's what's cool about it, is as you see interesting things to add on or you move things around, maybe your ideas change a little bit.
Yes, definitely. It's like what you were saying before, you don't have to commit to anything, you can kind of just piece it out, see what you like before you make it final. And I definitely love that. It's like a thinking phase. So,
Very forgiving too.
yes, hopefully. Very forgiving.
What I'm hoping to work on today that I hope you can guide me on is how to get some really nice texture and depth.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. Well, I think that'll be the cool part of incorporating the ink, the inking and the pens and the markers in there, is that you'll get a lot of that depth and dimension from that, like how we were working on last week. So that'll be cool. Plus, it's kind of fun that it's so additive. Like you can have all these textures and things going, and then with the ink you can just add on to it. If it's not exactly what you wanted or found, or you want it to be a little bit different, you can transform it with the pen. So I'm excited to see how it develops as we go.
Do you have any starting ideas for yours?
I like to go off of what I find instead of like going into it with a really specific idea, but I mean, I do always have these similar themes where I really like to explore, like, you know, conceptually, like stuff with water and nature kind of things. But I found these really cool papers at the craft store with all these neat textures on them, and some of them are shine. One of them is even holographic. Oh god, I would really want to use this one. So I'm gonna play more off of what I got than like try to make it work to my idea. But I was thinking of doing something, you know, natural, like get that kind of sky water thing going, and you know, we'll see. I'm not too set on the concept. I'm gonna try to be fluid with it. What about you?
I'm having not a very clear idea of where I'm going, but I'm really attracted to like things that are repetitive, so I've got these little cutouts of little plates that I think could make something interesting. I got some butterflies and some flowers.
And textiles.
Yes, I found these little towels. There you are. I like that I get to see the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes action always going on.
I thought about putting all these things together either in an outdoor scene or even in an indoor scene, like if I could create some kind
Huh.
of bedroom.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Kind of almost like interior design style.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Drawing I don't know if it will happen, but drawing the outline of a room,
Yeah.
you know, with some just rudimentary perspective, and then trying to place some 3D flat yet 3D objects. Like I've got this bottle, I've got some very disproportionate lemon.
No, the disproportion is what's fun about it. I think that's a cool idea. And then, like I said, you can go in and add some of that depth with the ink. Yeah, that'll be really cool.
That's a good point.
I think whatever we end up doing, it will surprise us with the outcome, right? Good or bad. Not bad, never bad. Satisfactory, or, you know, whether it's going to be in line with our vision or be something on a different path, I guess is a better way of phrasing that.
I think that makes sense, especially if we're doing things that come from other images.
Yes. Right, it's not like it's all our own thing going here. Oh, I think the hardest part sometimes is just starting. Right?
Yeah.
I got it, and I'm trying to think of how I want the shapes to start getting put on the page.
That part can be overwhelming.
Yes. But the in-between, we will discuss our cocktail for the week. We've got our spooky sangria, and I put the recipe up on my channel earlier so you could see how that was made, and hopefully you guys are drinking something equally as fun, if not this. And it's spooky because it's got all the darker fruits in there. I got the blackberries and the blueberries, and I had it in my mind I was going to do blood orange, and then I completely forgot when I was at the store, but that would have been a really cool addition. And yeah, I think it came out good. What do you think? I mean, you have to say yes, but
I think it's amazing.
all right, awesome. One good review. So I think that's also kind of like I always say, like a little bit of an art form in itself. Cooking and cocktail making, drink making, anything that kind of gets your like creative juices flowing. I like thinking of new recipes and trying out new things. It always gets me excited. So
I like that you mix the well, it's not culinary, right? It's mixology.
Ooh,
Like mix that
fancy.
mixology into your
Weird.
process.
Yeah, get a little cross-genre creativity going.
Nice. I think for a lot of people, myself included, where the last time you really did art was in school, this idea of like you can do it relaxing, you can do it with a cocktail, you can do it with your friends, that's really appealing.
Yeah, I like that, definitely. Keeps it fun. Keeps it fun, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be something enjoyable, something you want to make time for. I really do not know where I'm going with this. Alright, we'll see. You already got a little bit of a plan going.
I like that archway is kind of like a staple.
Yeah, I was kind of going to use that as like maybe my sun. Just some version of
Oh,
the sun,
yeah.
and then kind of maybe do something like day fading into night.
Makes me think of like Aztec, Maya.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. Maybe I'll start sketching anyway. Maybe I'll get a little sketch going, and that'll help me kind of figure out the composition in my mind. But yeah, as always, you know, love to know what you guys are working on. If it's not this or something else, just let me know or show me at the end. I love seeing what you guys work on. That's always the fun part. Okay, let me think. Mhm.
What do you think about this plates walkway?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that you made a pattern out of it. Are you keeping the lady in?
I think
She's
so.
gonna be like the focal point.
I haven't been the biggest fan of Diego Rivera, but I really love like it's like a ready-made human
Figure.
drawing that I couldn't recreate if I wanted to.
Yes, you could. But it is nice to have like a good starting point.
Yeah,
You can always add on to her with the ink.
that's true. Now I'm at that commitment of, am I going to go with the outside? Am I going to go with the inside?
Outside, inside. I mean, I don't want to sway your decision one way or another. I'll let you decide. I think.
We have a lot of different types of glues today that we can play with.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I added that on the supply list, which I guess was silly. I don't know, in my mind I figure everyone has some kind of glue. But yeah, I definitely have a bunch of glue also. I know you're working with Elmer's, which is cool. I actually didn't even know Elmer's came in these fancy tip ones. But I got Tombow, and I use these for my card making stuff, and it's the same thing where it has like the fine and the thicker tip.
Those look really cool.
Yeah. They're pretty neat. And then I use the scissor, but I got the X-Acto blade in case I want to cut out any like interior spaces or circular things that are harder with the scissors.
Oh, that's really nice.
Mhm.
You get a really sharp edge.
Yes.
This feels a little bit like being in a podcast.
Yeah, I think it's because we got the back and forth going. It is kind of like a podcast. It's a crafting podcast.
Not that I've been on a podcast, but
Well, now you have. This isn't, this week it can be a podcast.
you're right.
I think I'm going to do something like that. I was going to cut all the pieces, but I actually like maybe working on top of this paper.
That paper's beautiful.
Yeah, I really like it. I just maybe need a way to transition this harsh line over here.
But maybe that could come from the collage
Yeah.
or the ink.
That's a good idea. The ink. Yeah, something like that. All right. See, now I'm getting a little bit of an idea going.
You're getting a flow.
Yeah, there we go. Took me a little bit, but now I think I got a little more direction. So I'm gonna get this going down on the page. Let's do that.
You don't have any tape, do you?
I do have tape. I'm gonna be right back with tape.
I'm just gluing some of the plates on.
Go.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
kind of lost my placing when I started to do these.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I think I'm gonna use some tape just to make sure I don't prematurely glue everything.
That's a really good idea. Almost looks better. And I could put some water thing here. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So Talia, what are some other things you've been working on lately? Creativity wise. Wanna share what kind of projects have been going on with you?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of an issue with I have a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a bit of an issue where he's just like very interested in eating any kind of box that he sees from his toys or like where we put workout things.
Uh-oh.
So I've just been making these like paper boxes.
That he gets to chew?
I hope he doesn't get to chew it, but if he does chew it,
Yeah.
I can go back in the cardboard and fix it. As opposed to if you have like a straw basket or something like that. Or a wood basket. For some reason he loves to eat wood. So I've been doing these different...
Are they meant to be like deterrents from your things you'd rather him not chew on?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I can put his toys, I can make a collage. I can add lots of layered glue to it to kind of make it a little bit thicker.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's an interesting use of a creative project. And is he into it? Does he go for it?
I think he tried to eat a little bit and then he was very disappointed. Like he licked the side of it and then, no straw came out, no wood came out, and then he moved on. So it's perfect.
All right, that's good. I like that. That's a project with a purpose.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wish I had taken a picture of the little plates before I moved them. Because now I can't like
recreate it. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely can. It might just be slightly different from before, but it'll still look good.
they had come out so natural.
It was nice.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I think the other things I've been working on have really come from your stream and just the different things that you're kind of
Ooh.
inspiring us to do.
That's nice. Thank you. I love hearing that.
It's true.
It's fun, right? It's a nice way to try different things. Kind of, honestly, it does that for me too. I think I could get very set in like a certain type of art. You know, working on painting with the same material. But I like this because it kind of forces me to try different things. So, it does the same thing for me. I love it. It's my favorite part of the week. Look forward to it all week. But I love hearing that. It's awesome. You have been showing me what you've been making, and that's always a fun part. I really like your drawing from last week.
It's a really vulnerable thing to show.
Oof, yes. But I think it's also like a coming together thing, like a bonding thing. You know?
It's really true. It's very true.
Let's see. Okay, this is hanging on the page. I bet that's okay. Yeah. It's definitely personal. That's for sure.
Do you think that when you're coming up with the different activities, did they come out how you envision, or are you a little bit surprised in the end?
That's a good question. Let me think back to what I've done. I think thus far, they happen to have, for the most part, come out the way I was envisioning them, especially because they're things that I'd started working on prior to the session. Like the surfboard I was already like in progress on, and the finish what you started painting I had already been doing. And then the sketch was like a little bit, that came out, I was really happy with how that came out. So I guess that one was a little more surprising because it's not a medium I work with very often, markers and pens. But I think this one so far is going to be a surprising one because I'm really going into it without much of an idea of what I'm going to do.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting if you allow yourself to have that, lose that control a little bit. Sometimes that could be hard for me, so I like practicing things where I don't have to have control over every detail of it. Oh, like right now, how it's not lining up. But what about you? Did you find that the projects you worked on had come out the way you had envisioned them?
No.
How so?
I felt like it was a process of, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah?
I watched it go from like good to bad, where I was trying to.
Did you feel like it ended bad?
I felt like it ended unfinished.
Huh. Okay.
I felt like when I was trying to shade, I realized afterwards when I was like kind of rewatching the way that you were doing it, that I was kind of going by where I thought my pencil should go, versus thinking about the light.
Yes.
And having like, so I was like, everything looked good and like when you narrowed it on one part.
Yeah.
But then when you looked out, it was like, where is this light source coming from?
Yes, it makes a huge difference. Thinking about what it is actually supposed to be versus like just what you think it should be, like drawing what you see. But I know in that case we weren't looking at something for reference, but that the light, it makes a huge difference. That's why I find it's so important, if it's something you really do enjoy doing, to go and do like studies. Like, and by studies I mean just like quick little observational, either sketches or just pictures. I mean, I know you're a photographer, so that's big for you, but of things in real life, and just to see how the light actually works on objects and people and in different compositions and at different times of the day, and it's really helpful instead of just guessing.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that the cool things about that project in particular is like the different tools that you had us use. It's so easy to go back over them and to kind of fix that or
add to them.
It's so true. And then since you have the drawing on Patreon, it's like easy to reprint and start over too. That's something else that I think I could do.
Oh, that's an interesting point I didn't think about.
Yeah, like maybe like as we go through the weeks, some of us can like go back and revisit some of the earlier projects. Maybe we'll even get better.
Yeah, that's very true. All that stuff stays up on my page, so you can definitely like go back and rework stuff if you weren't happy with it, or if you wanted to try it in a different way. It's a really good suggestion. You know what's funny about that week is I had gotten that feedback from more than one person, from quite a few people, that I was actually a little bit worried that it was going on maybe a little bit long because it was longer than my other sessions, and the feedback I got was like, oh no, like we were still working on it, like we wish you would have kept going. And it's like, oh, okay, that's nice to know, because sometimes I don't know, I can get lost in stuff and just sit there and work on it for like hours. So
or maybe even have
definitely like
some,
a labor of love.
Additional sessions, so those of us, like maybe other people that struggled with the lighting and making things have the dimension, maybe that's something that we can
It's a fun idea.
sign up for.
All right, I like that feedback.
I've just cut all these blank. I don't even know if I'm going to use them, but I just really enjoyed cutting them up.
I'm sure you can incorporate that. You know what? I realize I'm drawing on the wrong side. Let's do that. Let's see if I can make that bigger. I tell you, sometimes freehanding stuff takes a couple of times to get right.
you're right.
But yeah, I would love to do like some extra time with anyone who wants a little bit more in depth on something that we're working on. So definitely reach out if that's something you're interested in. So I could sit here and do this all day. Alright, let's see if that works now.
You've always been interested in art, right?
Oh yeah, my whole life. This is something from when I'm really little I always had a really strong interest in. Art class was always my favorite class and time in school, and I always, my grandma was a painter. I think I mentioned that in the last session, but she's an amazing painter actually. She does mostly watercolor. And so she exposed me to a lot of stuff at a really young age, and I took to it. It was always my favorite part of spending time with her. And we would do everything. We'd paint, and we'd sew, and we'd also create like little craft projects, and it was awesome. It was a really nice way to spend time together doing something we loved.
What kind of painting does your grandma do?
She's a watercolor artist.
Oh, that is so precious.
Yeah, it's really cool, and she's really good at it. That's something I was also saying last week. That's something I never, for whatever reason, got into. Not because I just never really kind of gave it a good shot. So it's actually one of the things I'm going to work on in one of the upcoming sessions. I'd love to dabble in watercolors, and maybe that's something you guys would like to do with me. It's like the opposite of how I work. It's very loose and free, I think, and the strokes are, I don't know, it just gives this like really airy, lovely vibe, and I think everything I do is a little bit more structured looking. So I'd be excited to try that. What about you? Is there something you've been wanting to work on that you haven't given a shot, that you've thought about?
I think I would love, and I'm also very interested in watercolor.
Oh yeah?
I think that it's awesome.
Well, there you go.
And I think I would like to also do things that kind of look like real life a little bit more.
Realism?
Realism, yes. I
Oh.
feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to draw this, and then when it doesn't come out well, instead of continue to try, I just make
Mhm.
it like very, very abstract,
Yeah.
which is fine. But you know, it's like almost like an excuse.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think sitting and doing the study stuff would really help with that. And it's so funny because I have the opposite kind of thing where I'm always thinking in realism, and I would love to kind of think a little bit more abstractly. I always struggle with that, kind of making it interesting and out there, and mine's always kind of like usually pretty much what I see. So maybe we can help each other with that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool. Alright, let's see if that came together. Okay, alright, it's a lot of time, but I got two things on the paper.
I feel like you made a lot of
Changes?
A lot of changes, yeah.
Yes, I also feel that way. That's why I was saying I think this is going to be one of those things that doesn't turn out how I originally thought it was going to go. But that's good, right? I mean, sometimes that's even more fun when it takes you somewhere you don't expect.
I like the texture of that paper. It's almost, is it
This holographic one?
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Oh, I know. I want to use this in multiple places if I can. I saw this and I was just like, oh, shiny.
Couldn't like not get it.
Couldn't not get it. I didn't know where I was going to use it, but I'm going to use it somewhere. It's going to pop up somewhere in here. I think it's going to go right here. I actually like that much better than the glittery one, so that's going to be my main. don't know, I think, I feel like you kind of feel this way too, but sometimes the really inspiring part is like the supplies, the textiles, the papers. I mean, I used to spend all my money on just like beautiful journals. I didn't even know what I was gonna do with them or what I was gonna write in them. I just like, if they were beautiful, I had to have them.
It's such a work of art. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes we focus on the opposite. You know, we're like, what's gonna go inside of it? Oh, let me not get
Right.
that journal. But if we just focus on the beauty of that object,
Yeah, and appreciate it.
I'm very big into journaling, and I like how if you buy a journal, even if you don't need it in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
then when you need it, it's there for you.
Yeah, and you can just get started, so it's not like a hindrance for whatever you wanted to do. It's not an obstacle. You already got it in the bank. I also feel that way. I never feel like they're a bad purchase.
I've had it before where I say, well, you know, I don't need it right now. I'll come back, and then nope. You'll never see it again.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have that problem because, like I said, I just buy them all.
That's good. You did it. You had it right from the beginning.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm kind of alternating between using the glue and then using tape.
Well, that's good. I think whatever works. You can even stay with the tape. It doesn't have to be like glued at the end.
Yeah.
All right, I should move on to another part now. This is taking a long time. I think that's also like not a problem, but that's something I could definitely do, is get caught up on really small details and trying to make them perfect instead of just kind of like moving on to the next thing. So that's always something I'm working on.
To try to get away from the perfectionism.
Yeah, the perfectionism and the time-consuming aspect of that, kind of being a little bit more fluid. That's, I think, one of my goals in also doing this. Other than just making time to create more, I definitely want to get more fluid and looser with whatever I'm doing. I think that would be a big assist.
It's good to have that insight.
Yeah. I think it's good to have little goals.
How did you decide which magazines to pick out for today?
I went out. I'd actually done a big purge recently, so I really didn't have all the stuff I usually have, or I would have had a bunch of magazines, but I went out and I just kind of thumbed through whatever was there and looked for things that I thought were interesting, like textile-wise, colors, patterns, not really like what the subject was, but more like, yeah, the textiles and the colors. What about you?
I had
I'm
some.
gonna do this.
I had some that I was just done reading,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt I didn't know that you know you were going to pick this up for this week, but I just felt so guilty throwing them away.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just had them and had them and had them. And I'm just very happy to give them like this second life.
Oh, good. That's even better than buying them new.
It is
It's
cool though that
repurposing.
you got to kind of look for the most appealing covers.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised what you can find with what you already have, supply-wise. Let's see.
I like the, you know, when you're, at least for me, when I'm reading the magazine, I'm not really a fan of the advertisements.
Ugh, me neither.
Kind of go through them. But
Mhm.
then for like the collage, you know, that's where we got a lot of
Yeah, that's true.
a lot of things from.
They serve a purpose. I really like all the colors that you're using. I have to say I'm really shaky with how this is this is going, but like I said, I think I'm really gonna just try and go, and if it's not working, maybe I'll like come back to it.
You could do one in the future where you do the same way that you had a video you did where you did an art project with your son and you switched.
Oh
on and
yeah. With the collage?
off. You could do it with a
Oh, I
collage.
love that. That's such a fun idea. He had such a good time doing that. He was asking me what the next project we were doing was gonna be. I'm gonna keep this one.
You looked very happy.
Yeah, he was. That was awesome. Plus, it's like a win-win. I get to do something I love to do, and we get to spend time together. And he's trying something new. So that was really fun.
I feel like I'm really wanting to start the ink, but it's not clear to me like what I want to
Do with it?
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Me too. I don't know if it's like it'll give you direction or it'll just be something you need to get. In my mind, it's like the final step, but I feel like that's just my, again, like need for perfectionism talking. Maybe it will actually help you flow. Let me see.
Realize that I don't really cut that well. I've got like preschool
I
level
too am realizing
cutting
that.
skills.
I too am realizing that. That's okay. I think the collage is not supposed to look perfect. I think it's supposed to look a little hand cut. Like I was tempted to get the ruler out, and I was like, I don't think we need it.
I think I'm just gonna go for it and just start
I think that's a good idea.
trying some shapes.
I think that is a good idea. I think I will be following suit very shortly.
What do you do with the pieces you create after you're done with them?
It depends. Sometimes I gift them to friends and family. Sometimes I just kind of keep them in a little section where I kind of like collect my art, or I put them up around the house. You know, it just depends. What about you? What do you do with the things you create?
I think because I moved a lot in the last couple of years, I've just photographed them and then kind of undid with the physical copy. But I like the idea of like displaying things on rotation.
Oh, on rotation.
That would be really nice.
That's fun. Keeps it like fresh. I think as long as you have a photograph of it, that's like your collection there. Too, like a little digital art resume.
What do you think about these little bubbles?
Ooh, I like them.
Yeah?
Yeah. That makes it. I like the fine detail there.
So relaxing to do like little shapes.
Oh yeah. That's what I always say. Like you get lost in the paint strokes or the little pen strokes. It's such a good way to like clear your mind. 'Cause that's all you're focusing on. Like, I think tedious is not like a great word, but like the tediousness of the task. But I like it. I think it's good.
You're kind of going one bubble at a time. How do you select the music that you do art to? Does it change, or do you like to have the same type of music?
Like the music on our craft session?
Or in general, when you're working on art, or do you normally do with silence?
You know what? I used to do it with music a lot. And now I think most of the time I do it in silence. I think also a big part of that is because I have so much noise thrusted at me all day long with my kids that I kind of use this as a chance to like de-stimulate and decompress. and like the sound of silence.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I do sometimes, I like to throw on something non-invasive, like some relaxing instrumental stuff or jazz. I like string music because it's like you can hear it, but you can still like focus on what you're doing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I always struggle with things that have lyric.
Yeah, me too.
I'll start with just automatically writing what I hear.
Oh yeah,
It's very distracting.
super. I think so too. I think it kind of like takes you out of that flow state. Okay.
Where do you think Ink October came from?
I don't know. I think people just love to do funny names for things. Right? Isn't there like some beard thing, like beard no shave November?
Oh yeah.
People think up with some pretty interesting things. I sketched this here. I think I'm gonna do a reverse collage for this. Yes.
Oh, I really like how the boat is coming out.
Thank you. I also saw that some people do like Painttober.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, I just like the idea of sticking with something. I think Inktober is such a cool idea. Oh, and I've seen such cool stuff online. People are so creative. They take pen and ink and just do like the most interesting things. It's awesome.
It's true. I like that you can just get lost looking at all the things people make.
Oh, and I definitely do.
What are you doing with the X-Acto?
So, I was gonna collage the sails and put the pattern tape paper on top. And then it's like I had to redraw the sail again. So it kind of gave me the idea that, oh, maybe I'll just go the other way around, reverse it. And I will put the sails in underneath.
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah, and then I think it'll give it like a different, it'll do like different layers. It'll give it like a little bit different texture. Something like that. I think that's gonna look cool.
It's cool that with the camera, it's like we can see it like this way
Real time.
and then look it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This tripod makes it. Sometimes I'm trying to like do things and film, holding stuff in my hand, and it's like, nah, it's not gonna work.
It's a lot to do at the same time.
Oh yeah. Do you find you have a lot of friends that you can bounce ideas off of, that you can kind of like get creative with, or do you find it's more of like a personal solo thing?
I think it depends. I think that I ended up having like a disproportionate amount of friends that are more into music
Yeah,
than visual arts.
which is a type of creativity, of course.
It's so true. And then I think with friends like you, for sure, I can bounce things off. And I think what you really helped me do, and I think you're helping a lot of people do, is to just like, just do it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like today I didn't have to think about it. I was like, okay, craft, cutting paper, let's go for it, you know?
Yeah, awesome. I love that. Yeah, sometimes that's the hardest part, right? Like, it's not even so much that we wouldn't make time for it, it's that we might be discouraged not knowing what to actually do or work on.
It's very true. I also feel like it's a matter of making like a space, making a physical space. And I was teaching.
Mental space too.
I was
making
always
mental
like-
time in your schedule.
It's so true. We've got the mental time, the physical time.
Mhm.
What I liked about being in the classroom was like I had like zero excuse. Like the place was there, the supplies was there.
Oh yeah, that was the best.
You feel so creative in those environments.
Me too, because it's almost like that's your job,
Yeah.
right? You're there in that time, in that space with other people doing the same thing. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. It definitely makes it easier to put time aside for that. Ooh, look, that kind of came out cool.
I really love how that came out.
Right? That's so fun. I like the negative space of that.
It created such a nice layer.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I should do the bow.
How are we doing on pacing?
Differently. How are we doing what?
On our pace, do we need to speed it up?
Yes.
I thought I was doing a lot.
The
and
answer
then
for me is always yes.
I'm looking at it and it's like, oh no, I didn't really do anything.
Oh no, I did one thing. I'm telling you, this is my eternal struggle. Thank you for keeping me on.
I think I'm at the
Task.
stage now where like what I do next, it's like it's either gonna make it better or like really mess it up.
No, don't think like that. It's never gonna mess it up. It's either gonna go in the direction you were thinking or take it in a new direction. You know? That's how I feel. So I think just go for it.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Do we want a boat to be holographic? Does that look like a boat? Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I think I'll do this. I really do like the non-exactness of this. I think it is a very good.
Especially since you've got like a ocean theme. How exact could anybody be when we think about the ocean?
That's true.
And
That's a good
nature.
point.
Maybe I need to go back to my source material.
Being the magazines.
Yeah. See if there's anything else that I can add. Maybe these fruits. I ended up with like a market theme somehow.
Let's see how it like evolves as you go. I love that. You were talking about doing like interiors and drawing the space, and look how it kind of evolved.
That's true. I think I am gonna go with like a little market area.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
I can totally see that.
You can see it?
Honestly, when you were saying indoor or outdoor, I didn't want to sway you because I wanted you to create, but I was thinking outdoor. with those vibrant colors, it just felt like an outdoor setting to me.
I feel like the paintings here make it look like maybe she's heading somewhere home. But I like that she's physically outdoors. When I was little, we used to go to the open markets a lot, like fruit markets and like
Farmers market style thing.
yes, farmers markets.
I love farmers markets. I mean, maybe they do have more of them here, but I used to go all the time in New York. It's such a fun setting. It's so much more fun than the grocery store.
New York must have been really good for markets.
Yeah, when the weather was nice, they had some really good ones. Sometimes they'd have like special holiday markets where they would have like, in addition to food, like craft items.
Oh, like some artisanal things.
Yeah.
Did you feel like New York was a stimulating place to be in?
Oh, super stimulating. It wasn't quite my style for the long run, but that was one of the many nice things about it, was that there was so much culture and inspiration everywhere, very stimulating, and so many different museums and so many different things on the street. A lot of arts and culture there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you can always, of course, find so many things online. I've been really inspired lately with everything online, but there's something about seeing things in person, right? It's kind of being more involved.
That's true. And then seeing things without looking for it, like it's not like you were
Right.
going out to like, oh, I
Right.
want to find this.
It finds you.
It finds you.
Yeah. So true.
I think I'm going to add, I don't know if this is going to work out at all, but I'm going to try to add some tables to my market area.
Okay. Some tables. And ink, I love that. That's gonna be awesome.
I thought about maybe making them with my collection of random fabrics over here, but
Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. You can still do that. Maybe an ink over it for the outline.
that's a good point. I'm gonna make these table kind of distorted.
See if that worked out.
I got one table.
Oh, and look how quickly you did that.
Let's go for another one.
Yeah, sometimes it's the piecing together of things that becomes the struggle. Making things fit.
Oh, I love the yellow for the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing a deconstructed collage. Is that an appropriate term? With the cutting and the negative space and the layering.
Yeah, I like that I'm trying to do like where I'm using maybe more than one way of doing it to keep it interesting. Negative space, positive space. Okay, now I think I just messed it up, but that's okay. I don't know why this is such a struggle for me, making a circle. And making a circle that fits. I think it's because I'm trying to make it fit with the sun thing, where it's just like not. I'm sure there's some sort of like tool I could have used to make this better, but we will make it work.
These circles are tough.
I know, I but they are oddly tough.
I heard that one of the
There we
hardest
go.
things to do is to do like a freehand circle.
Oof, yeah. That was like a whole section in one of our drawing classes in college was just working on like freehand circles. There, I think somehow like that.
Cutting this fruit.
Still only have 2 elements going. I'm hoping like the rest of it will piece together.
I feel like every time I look over, it's completely different. Like you advance so much.
Oh, you think? What? Do you think so? Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel the opposite. Like you have a million things on the page and they look so good, and I'm like still working on the sun. I got my boat.
I think that once I decided to do the table, it kind of propelled me forward a little bit.
Yeah. I like that you already got your ink on there. Way to be progressing it.
I think I'm gonna make something a little bit weird.
Weird is always good. Weird keeps it interesting. Do tell.
I don't know how this is going to come out, but I'm adding like a space between the images.
Ooh, I was kind of also envisioning something like that.
And
I think it'll be cool. And then inking in between it, yes, that's not weird at all. I love that.
it's like a distortion that's going to happen.
It's gonna be a really cool effect.
Kind of like a little bit of a dream almost.
That's a really cool way to think about it. Making it a little dreamy.
Yeah, I always have very, very intense dreams.
Yeah, you were telling me that. And like visualizations, I think that's the sign of a very creative person. Do you usually remember them the next day?
The night ones?
Yeah.
I think so. I remember them if I talk to somebody right after.
You should write them down. You should do a dream journal.
Wow, but then my dreams are so weird.
No, why? First of all, I bet you that would make for amazing subject matter for art. Or photography or whatever. You would have so many different, you would have so much source material. You should totally do that.
No, that's an interesting idea.
Yes. Especially if they're really elaborate.
They are, and I always have like recurring themes.
Yeah.
Where I'm almost
Like
like,
that's pretty common.
am I dreaming? It's like,
It's
like,
really reality.
what's really happening? I heard that there's people that can even control their dreams.
That's like called like lucid dreaming, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? I've never done that.
No, I haven't. I
Wouldn't
will
that be cool?
realize that things don't make sense,
Mm.
but never make the jump.
Like the adjustment to control it.
Yeah.
What are you using for your pen, by the way?
I'm using this microline. I'm doing the 35 millimeter.
Cool.
I really like this brand.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's not one I've heard of. I'll have to jot that down.
I used to have, yeah, see, it's similar to yours. Oh, look at that. Microline and micron. I think I've used this one before.
Yeah,
This is
this
really
is
nice.
this is the only one I know. This is
archival ink. That's really important.
Yeah. Go lighter for that. That's important because it's how your stuff stays nice and it doesn't fade over time.
Yeah, that's true. That way you don't put work into something that disappears.
Yeah. You always want stuff to last. I think that's a big thing for scrapbooking too, right?
It is. These memories that you make.
Are you a big scrapbooker? I feel like that would be your thing.
I'm getting into it more and more.
Yeah?
I got really used to like mixing scrapbooking into my journaling.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's cool. That's like, you know, the mixed media. I like that.
I think it would be nice to separate a bit and just do some dedicated scrapbooking. But what I like about mixing it with the journal is that then it's like you don't feel as compelled to write everything out because some things will just come from these,
The visual aspects.
yeah, these in between scrapbooking.
That's a good point. Now you're using a mix of like words,
Do you do any scrapbooking?
pictures, visuals. Me? Oh, no. I feel like that's something you have to be very dedicated about, right? Because it's like a major undertaking in my mind. Like I thought I would do that when I had kids. I would scrapbook everything, and maybe it's because the timing of it was when I had kids, so that wasn't quite happening. But it's not like you just do it in a day and you're done. You really gotta like commit to that project and build on it, and it's ongoing. Could just be the way I was thinking about it.
That's a good point. Like when sometimes people put pictures together and then they make it into like a little book.
Oh yeah. Well, now I think it's really easy because you can just order them online and select photos right off of your phone, and they make it really easy for you. But definitely takes out like the creative aspect of scrapbooking when you're adding all those little detailed elements on your own. But it is a good way to like catalog all your photos.
It's true. I'm trying to make this lemon fit, and like I realized like I really wish I had put the lemon in first and then done the boxes.
Lessons learned. Lessons learned. That's for sure. Art is definitely a lessons learned thing.
Oh wow, it looks so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I think it's really the paper doing a lot of the work there, but
I love the way the cellophane style paper.
oh yeah, that thing was cool. I am happy with that purchase. Let's see what else we can kind of dig here. Right, I'm getting a little ink on the page, so now I can officially call it Collage and Ink here.
Oh nice.
I put a little dude on my sailboat. Be looking through a telescope. I'm going to pretend I know how to draw a telescope.
It's kind of giving me little Prince vibes.
Ooh, I like that. That's fun without even trying. Let's see. Yeah, I love how some people can be so sketchy. Like sketchy with their pen strokes. It's fun. It's something I'm gonna try.
Instead of a rigid line, you mean?
Yeah, just kind of making it more like as if you're sketching with a pencil. Less like final looking. I just think it's so much cooler when people do it that way.
Kind of makes it a little bit organic looking.
Yeah,
Fast paced.
more alive, full of motion.
the way things are coming together.
That's good. That's the whole thing. Just feeling satisfied, that satisfaction when you're starting to see something come from it. I love it.
You like it?
Yeah, I really do.
I feel like something needs to happen in this
It's so fun with the ink.
marketplace.
Maybe if it's a marketplace, you can kind of give the idea of other people.
Oh, other people. That's a very good idea.
Even if it's just like the impression of other people.
I've also been thinking about maybe bringing in some thicker pens.
I've got all the different thicknesses if you want to use mine. It makes a difference. It gives it
Oh yeah,
different
because
depth.
you have it going from all the different millimeters, right?
Detail.
Today I only had like a really thick one and a really thin one. I didn't think about the
I
in
got
between.
you. Got you.
Okay, now I gotta focus on how am I gonna get more people in my market.
Maybe you can make it a mix of if you have any cutouts of people and then a few like quick sketches. Or you just have like kind of the idea, like the motion of them moving around.
I'd love to put this horse somewhere.
It could be a collectible in the market.
It's like the salesperson. Butterflies.
Yeah, I definitely feel like these kind of things need time.
I agree with you. I wonder if it's also a good idea to just cut things out over time
Ooh, and build on it,
and build on it, yeah.
or keep things. I used to have a little file folder where I would just keep interesting cutouts if I'd kind of like come across stuff. Kind of like a to be used sort of a thing.
Oh, that's really smart.
Comes in handy.
Let's see, person.
Kind of like the having the journal already there thing. Well, it's already there, so we will find a use for it.
That's a very good idea. It's already there, and then you can categorize it.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh.
I take a chance with these market people. Oh no, it's so scary.
I know. I guess that is something that's hard to be undone, is the pen. You can build off of it, but you certainly can't undo it.
How is your addition of ink coming along?
I'm liking it so far. I'm also kind of like trying to take a chance and do something a little bit illustrative, which is like out of my comfort zone. So we'll see if it comes through the way I want it to. I'm trying to do these little like gusts of wind.
Oh, I like the wind element.
Yeah. He's like a little explorer and navigator. Seeing what's out there, going from day into night, from the known into unknown. This is what I'm coming up with now. How about you? How are your people coming out?
So I've kind of gone for these people that have like very long legs and very big baskets, but like very small heads. Like they get very smaller as they go up.
Yeah, but they look like they're like leaning over and looking at the items and focusing.
Okay, think about that dream aspect. Like in your dreams, if you saw this, you're like, okay, that was legit. It's people in a market.
Right. You definitely give, like, the impression is definitely coming through.
It might come from trying to keep her be the main, like, focal person.
Yeah. And everything else is a little bit, like, less the focus. Less in focus.
Maybe also, like, the starting off with, like, a illustration that's Mexican based makes me think about, like, when we think about Latin American art, there tends to be these, like, misshaping of people. Like, all of a sudden your arms are very big or your legs are coming to the background.
Sure. Stylized.
Stylized. It's very
Kind
true.
of makes me think a little bit of, like, Dolly, how everything was very, like, elongated and in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is so weird.
It looks great.
Oh my.
It's really like developed. There's a lot of things going on. I like it.
You don't have a ruler, do you?
I do. Give me just a second. I'll get up and go fish it out.
Sorry.
No,
Oh, don't worry
it's
about
fine.
it.
No, it's fine. Probably use it a ruler. I just think this guy is too low. It's probably not helpful, but I have a paper cutter with a ruler on it to measure.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I also have a ruler, I just cannot find it in this moment. Okay. That might take me a little while.
What are you focusing on next?
Right now I'm kind of working on the waves. Just working on getting some more stuff filled in on the page, really. It's looking a little sparse.
Oh, I love the waves.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just kind of want the idea of them here and there. Yeah, that's funny. I feel like I had so many good pages, and then of course, like when you're looking for them in the moment, they are not to be found.
I feel you. These are the types of.
Oh, interesting. That's cool. I've not seen something like that. This might be too dark. It's like very stylized.
Very stylized. I'm kind of trying to connect my different pieces with some lines.
I really like that. It's directional. I think I gotta go with you on this and just start adding more ink. It really like makes it.
Yeah, you can always cover it back up if you don't like it.
Oh, that is true.
What do you think about how today's cocktail turned out?
I'm quite satisfied with it. The key is like letting it sit in the fridge and kind of marinate. Love a good sangria. Make all different kinds, and it's always like a hit at parties. I have a really good white sangria. I like smash up a bunch of blueberries and put sparkling like seltzer in at the end.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's so many different ways you can make it. It tastes different with the different fruits. It's a really versatile drink. That's cool. Start doing
Oh, so the waves are gonna carry through?
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're gonna be the same color?
No, I think they're gonna be darker, and I think there's gonna be maybe something else on the other side. I had like a little, I don't know, house or something.
Oh,
I guess I didn't think about not carrying through. That could have been cool too, like
You could do a
kind of going into
lighthouse.
the vastness of space or something.
I like that it carries through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add a structure to that side too if you want.
That's what I was thinking. I think I have like a house somewhere that looks pretty cool. Just like the idea of him exploring. I think this is one of those places where we normally like look at an ocean and or a picture of an ocean and kind of see very specifically like where all the lines are, and I'm trying to just kind of like make it a little bit more of an impression.
Your piece is so dreamy.
Ooh, I think your piece is so dreamy. Oh yay, Allison is here. Thanks, Allison.
Allison!
Yay! Let us know what you're working on. Hopefully you are also working on something.
Allison, have you been here the whole time? Or did you just come on?
I don't think so. I was kind of like checking it out. I think she maybe came on recently.
She can be honest and say.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, I am liking it a lot more with the ink. I mean, yours for sure. You're like making a whole scene now. It looks awesome. The lines really build it up.
This is where I would love to collaborate because I feel like you're so good at drawing people and not making them look like weird creatures.
I don't know about that. Have you seen the hands I draw? That weirds them up enough. Yeah, but that would be fun. I would love to do one of those like collaborative art pieces with you. We went, we could even do like this thing where I work on it and you take it home and you work on it.
That would be really.
It didn't even have to be in the same like time frame.
You remember when we had that idea of a story that would be like.
Yes, I still want to work on that.
I went to as well. We could do that, and then also with a drawing that goes back and forth.
Oh yeah, I love having projects on the horizon. It's something to look forward to. I think it's a really good way also of redirecting our mind, because I don't know about you, but I can like hyper focus on tasks, things I have to do, things I haven't done yet.
Oh yeah. Every
You know,
time I go to bed, I'm like, don't
stressful
think,
things.
don't
Oh
think,
my God, yeah.
don't think, stop thinking.
Oh, it's like story of my life. When I have these projects on the horizon, it's a total redirection of my thought process.
Oh, I think she says. Can I click on it?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't see it,
There
but
you go.
I think
There. Laughs and laundry over here.
She's so nice.
Oh, it's okay too. That's kind of what I was saying. Even if you're taking your downtime in your own way.
The laundry is kind of like the ultimate collage, if you think about it.
Yeah, oh, there you go. It's a blending of things in your home. But yeah, that's fine too. Or maybe this is something that like you're checking out and then getting ideas for later. You know, however it fits into your life is good. I think as long as you're making that time.
It definitely just got so weird.
Just had a piece.
What happened?
It just came off.
Oh,
I
maybe
guess that glue was not strong enough.
maybe it's in the back, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
tape.
the
That's
tape.
a good idea. I don't even think this was the piece. Is it? It's not fitting.
You just need something big, right?
Yeah. Must have been something else.
I would definitely tape it up.
That's a good idea. Why am I struggling with this glue?
So hard to be serious. Like, I'm really tempted to just draw a face on this lemon.
Draw a face on the lemon.
I can't.
Why? You can make it kind of silly. Have an absurdist element to it. What's wrong with that?
It would be so silly.
No, wait, I don't even think that would be the silliest thing I've seen. There we go. Huh. I don't know where that went. Oh, I did something. Alright, whatever. Would be good. There we go. Keep track of the time. I always feel like, and again, maybe this is just because I'm slow. I don't really feel like I have to always finish it up during the session. I mean, I want to, I aim to, but usually an hour and a half is not enough time for me to feel like I've completed something. So I try to like get it as completed as I can, and then like the next day I'll go back to it and kind of like finish it up.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it takes that pressure off of like trying to get something done within an hour.
That's true.
Sometimes it's just not realistic, especially if your canvas is on a larger side or you're working with a lot of fine detail.
2-week projects.
Like continuing it on to the next week.
Yeah, especially if you ever want to do something that like it needs to
Cure.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. See, I love that feedback. That's a great idea.
Like
A
even
multi-week project.
it's true. Even today, like when you're looking for images, that would have been cool to watch that part too.
Oh. You know, like how we go about picking things.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see like what catches your eye.
I did a super quick video of that where I'm like breezing through the magazines.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll put that up and you can kind of just see where I stop and why. Alright, let's see how this is going to be on there.
babies, not glue. Got a loose butterfly.
Can't have that.
I almost liked it better when it was just the
Collage?
lady. Well, I like the ink.
Oh yeah, I like the ink a lot.
I liked when it was just the lady.
Oh, did I lead you astray?
I don't think so. I think I just like the idea of like,
Just her.
yeah, and like not knowing, like, we don't know what's going on with her, you know?
Hmm. I actually really like the incorporation of the other people. I kind of like the contrast of like their style to her style. How she is so realistic and they're just like these figures in the background, like going about their business.
Yep. These little scary figures. Okay, so I think all of my blankets are gonna have to go on a separate project.
Huh.
Couldn't really fit them in here.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let's see what else I have that didn't make it.
Didn't make the cut.
Oh, I feel like this should have been perfect. I got like this like money going on.
You don't think you could put the blankets on top here? Or are they too big? Oh, they actually look pretty big.
They're pretty big.
So maybe save them.
You wanted
You could take a little plastic baggie from my house and keep them for future things.
Oh, that would be cool.
Weren't you working on a cut paper project? On like your box? Oh, is that the box for the dog?
Yeah, and I finished that.
Oh, you made that so nice for him. That's cool.
I really like.
It's like really nice to look at.
It's yeah. It's like I don't want.
It had all these like beautiful scenic pictures on it.
I like that. I alternated the scenic pictures with a cutout stickers, like stickers that weren't my favorite. I
Huh.
split them in half and I would put them upside down,
Oh, that's cool.
and then that kind of
Change them for you.
it changed them. I kind of want to cut. I want to cut it all up. Is that weird?
Cut the whole project up?
Yeah.
No, that's not weird. I think that'll look cool, just like how you separated your things over there.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, wait, this goes this way, maybe.
Yeah, because then I can cut them, and I can cut the market, and have like something else behind the market. I feel like the market needs something underneath it.
Cool. Give it a shot, see what happens. Love the bravery in that.
Oh, yeah.
It's very brave to just take what you've done and splice it.
Allison can attest to me just going too far. Where most people would just stop.
No,
Just
I
keep
think
going.
I think the risk taking is good.
Now I get it. Really come to terms with like my
Decision?
preschool. Not even the decision. Just look at this preschool cutting.
Do you want to use the slightly sharper? Oh, don't forget you've got the paper cutter.
Oh yeah.
I'll get you like a finer line. I mean a straighter line.
That's such a good point. This is why teamwork is important.
Mm-hmm. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Go this way.
Wait,
Oh my
did I give you
gosh.
my scissors? And now you're not using them.
This one?
Yeah.
I haven't used a paper cutter in a very long time.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, you don't need it till you need it.
Oh no! More.
Need it till you need it. That was also one of the really good things about coming back from art schools. I just had all these supplies. Like you get so many supplies, and a lot of this stuff I've had since then.
That
So,
is really cool.
a really long time. I mean, that's for sure. Like where I got the paper cutter and this cutting board. Just
It's really nice that you were able to get supplies that you used, that you been like able to keep and use since then.
Yeah. And I remember one of our participants had mentioned like about doing a supply video. I didn't even think of that. About like, you know, what different supplies are out there and how they're used. And I kind of take that for granted that I have this whole, obviously like formal education about it. So it's something that's been on my list, is kind of having a little tutorial and just kind of outlining all the basics and supplies and the differences in what brands are good, because it could be overwhelming. I mean, I love going into a store and seeing all the stuff, but it could be a little overwhelming if you don't know what to get or what brands, you know, I don't know.
Definitely overwhelming, I think, for people who aren't familiar with it,
Yeah.
myself included. Like, I really want to get into sewing.
Oh yeah, you said.
Just thinking about what do I get is very intimidating.
I totally understand that. I can give you a little rundown with that too.
I would love that.
Sometimes it's kind of like the way we started this, where even though it's like intimidating and what do you do and how do you go about it, just like diving in. Even if you don't have all the supplies and you kind of like figure it out as you go, oh, that's right, I need this, I need that, and you go back out. But supplies should never like stop you from, you know, trying it.
I never let that stop me from
Nah, yeah, not yet.
photography.
But
But I do feel that about fashion. Or I'm like, oh no.
That's so funny, because I would feel that about photography for sure. You need all this like fancy, expensive equipment and lenses. Also, I don't know anything about photography, the aperture. I don't know anything. I could throw out words and I wouldn't even know what they mean.
Maybe like having had the opportunity that we had to do some of these things in school kind of gave us a leg up, you know? So we get
Yeah.
the supply lists and
Yeah,
makes
for
it a
sure.
little
The
bit-
vocabulary for it, that basic understanding.
I really miss those times.
Just having that freedom to work on it
Oh yeah.
and to learn about it. Yeah, me too.
Like being so bright-eyed about everything.
I've really come back into that lately. Like, I think there's just this allowance I've been giving myself, and that allowance kind of creates room for that excitement and that invigoration of pursuing projects. I think for sure I'm gonna be like a broken record, but I keep referencing that book from our book club, because Talia's one of the founding members of our book club.
Oh, I love that distinction.
Yes. And one of the best things ever in my life is that book club. Just exposes you to so many different things. And yeah, that book, Big Magic. I love that book. We read this book called Big Magic, and it's just all about allowing yourself to pursue these passions just for the sake of the passion of it, not necessarily because you need to make money or because it's your job, or not telling yourself like, you know, who am I to do this, or all that self-doubt, negative talk. It's just really like freeing you of that, and someone telling you like, yes, it, however you want to pursue it, whether you know, to get up early in the morning to make time for it, or just making that space and telling yourself like it is okay, you know?
I think it's very powerful. It's all things that when you hear it, it's like, of course.
Right.
But until you hear it, you don't always embrace it.
So true. Sometimes you need to like hear it or read it to really internalize it.
I think you're right.
I mean, I needed that. It was like a huge thing for me. I'd have all this guilt for whatever reason. And I should be, spending my time in other ways. And of course I do. I still take care of all my, you know, adult responsibilities and, you know, day-to-day things, and spend, of course, a lot of time with my children and taking care of my children and, you know, things with my job, but now I just create space for that within that frame. Like working on projects with my kids, but they're projects that I want to do, not necessarily like kid projects, and I make them something that we all want to work on together. It's like it just kind of, that book has really helped me give myself that.
That's the book with where her daughter gets really upset about the polar bears, right?
I don't think she has a daughter. That's the one where she was talking about like the woman who used to love skating, and then she stopped skating and had this whole family and job, and then she'd like get up at 5 a.m. every day and just like skate just for herself because that's what she loves doing and no other reason.
What's the one with the polar bear?
I don't remember the polar bear one.
There was one where there was a child where she found out about the ice caps melting.
And was really sad about it.
Yeah, and then all the adults
She
were
took
kind
on
of
the weight.
like
Oh,
thinking
right.
like, you know, pretending and being like, oh, I just spoke to the polar bears.
Oh, that's right.
That
Was
was-
that book?
I wonder.
You remember how we read 2 books that were very similar at that time? It was like Big Magic, and then it was another one that was along the lines of like, not self-help, but I guess kind of.
That is true. Maybe I get them in my mind, but
Maybe it was a friend. I just remember I don't think she had a daughter.
just cut mine.
I actually really like how this is coming out now. I think the waves kind of made it.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
Look at all these people.
Do wish I had more ink in there though.
Got these,
Don't
but
think I'm taking enough risks with the ink.
I'm gonna take a yellow paper.
Oh yeah, please. Anything I have here, you're welcome to use.
Oh, it's not big enough.
The yellow paper? You can use 2 sheets of yellow paper.
I like
Combine
this
them.
though. I like that it kind of.
Hangs off the page.
It was like last few minutes before the teacher's like.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly how I feel. The deadline approaching. I'm working with like an injury.
Oh no!
I've
Did you
already,
cut
like,
yourself?
Cut myself from the X-Acto knife. I'm like, keep going, no time for band-aids.
Cut myself with my X-Acto knife.
Yeah, wow, that's a throwback. I just aged us, thank you. That was good though. It was a good change up there. Do you think you're gonna try and continue this at home, or do you think you're gonna try and complete it here?
I think I'm gonna try to complete it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
The separation.
I think I'm gonna kind of have this idea of, because now I have the unfinished project from last week,
Oh.
and then I have this one, and I'm kind of thinking about collecting enough unfinished or mostly finished, and kind of later reworking them all into one thing.
Ooh, like a combined project?
Yeah.
I would be interested to see how that turns out.
Oh no! It's tilted.
Uh-oh. Did you glue it down?
No, I'm doing tape. So I had this idea of like to make it more mobile and be able to shift things better. Of doing tape, and then later coming in with glue on top.
Oh, on top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of coming in with the glue and the paintbrush.
Oh,
And
like
getting
sealing
all,
it?
yeah, sealing it. Either with glue or
Gosh,
with
that's gonna look cool.
hodgepodge. Make it like be more
You got Mod Podge at home?
Mod Podge.
Yeah.
What's the difference between hodgepodge and Mod Podge?
It's Mod Podge.
Mod
I
Podge.
think a hodgepodge is when it's like a whole mishmash of things.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
The only thing is now I don't really have a space for these flowers. I think they don't really fit.
I really like them. They're framing. Maybe you could separate them. Are they separated? You could separate them and put one on each side?
I also like the idea of just cutting the paper here. Kind of having it like... Yeah, I like what this did is that he gave some, like a...
Framing almost?
Yeah, it framed it a bit, it gave it some more of a distance. Made the market a little bit far away. I really like the illustrative quality of it. It's like crazy, but it's like now I'm in the mood for cutting it, and so then it's like, well, what if I cut it now? And then the paper underneath it is different.
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Like this multi-layered thing.
Hey, you know who could come back? My blankets. Look
Hey,
at that.
there you go. But I think that's I think that's exactly right. Almost like because this is just a for fun thing, instead of like a class or a job or you can kind of take those risks. Try it and see what works, what doesn't, because there's no like grade at the end or consequence.
It is very true.
So now's the time. You want to cut that paper, cut that paper.
It's like following the advice that you would give students, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, just do it. And actually being able to be in that position.
Yeah, I actually found I couldn't be my most creative self in the school setting because it was like such a stress put on with time and deadlines and following like the way things had to be. Like, I mean, of course, that's just me. People thrived in that and did all kinds of amazing things, but I felt like, yeah, that deadline pressure, it was very intense. It was like an exorbitant amount of work squished into very small time frames. Kind of took away the creativity of it for me.
Even people that maybe look like they're thriving in there, I wonder if like in a different environment maybe they would even be even better.
Yeah, that's true. There were a lot of really talented people. It was nice to be around.
I think I always preferred the support versus the pressure.
Oh yeah, I know. Maybe it's a different time now, but that was definitely like the style then.
Yeah, I remember one
Pressure
time
and competition.
I never had it the way that you had it, but I did have a class that was very intense.
Yeah.
Not in between the students, but the professor was very intense.
Yeah.
And then I went from that immediately into an environment that was like under intense, where there was like zero constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no. It needs to be like
some healthy
yeah.
balance.
There needs to be a balance. For sure.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Had an instructor that would, we had to glue our, not glue, we had to like, we had to tape our work to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come around, kind of
yeah.
give like the critique.
My favorite.
And she would rip it.
Like physically rip it?
Physically rip it. If it was bad,
No.
she would just go.
That's cool.
And everybody would just go to their car and cry.
Oh my god. No, I'm sorry. That's unnecessary. You can prove a point without destroying. Without like a destruction of property.
Yeah. It almost becomes like a rite of passage, because then if you're in that position of power, if that's all you've learned in, like, in a classroom setting, that's how that gets reproduced, You're like,
Yeah.
well,
Guess I'm ripping.
yep.
It could be like not up to the classroom standards, but it could still be something you've like put a lot of time into and are very proud of and want to keep for your own portfolio. So I think that's like quite cool, actually.
Definitely taught me to have a little bit of a thick skin.
Yeah, I guess there is something for that, but
I think at some point too, what I realized later is that then I started to really, what I was making for class was really to please the professor, because it was like, I don't want to have my work ripped.
mm-hmm.
I wanted to have to be praised. But maybe even the work that was ripped, even if it wasn't good, who knows, if you had continued in that route, maybe it would have grown into something really beautiful.
That's true. Like a building on of things. I'm always talking about that.
Alright, check it out with the blankets.
Oh,
Yeah?
it took me a second. Yes, the framing. That's cool.
Weird?
No, nothing is weird. What are you gonna do with all this white space?
Kind of thinking about just chopping it up.
And making it smaller?
Yeah, making it like even on both sides.
Yeah. You don't have to use that whole big thing. I just am torturing myself with this large scale.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that is so cool.
Because it's dark and it works. I don't want to cover up the
You
leaves.
can really make a children's book with like this type of art. It's so pretty.
Yeah, that would be really fun. It's so funny you say that. It's one of the thoughts on my mind, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's kind of been like this project on the back burner.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It would be cool. I think I just have so many projects I want to do. Never enough time.
There was a time that I really wanted to make a child's book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
When I was teaching in Haiti, my students spoke a lot of different languages,
Mm-hmm.
but we couldn't really find like a cool book on colors that was like in Haitian Creole, like some materials like that.
Uh-huh.
Probably now there exists a lot more. Maybe even existed back then, but
Right.
I remember I had really wanted to make something.
I love that. It coming out of like a need, a lack of, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it's actually something that would be utilized and appreciated.
Something I could have used in the classroom too.
You should still do it.
I wonder if I can get back into that mindset. I think I'm gonna start it.
Oh my god!
I still have like I cut so many plates. I'm still like finding plates that like I didn't use. Look at that.
I love all the places you used pen and ink. You really like ran with this project. I love it.
We really formed. Like,
This might be. I know you love the plate. I love the plates. This might be my favorite part.
Really?
Yes.
The market with the nightmare people.
Yeah, I just love all the little detail in the ink work.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, I mean it. All the different textures you use to convey the image. It's like the little circles and the little catching, and then different thicknesses of lines. You like killed it.
Something I really liked doing in the past was I would I would pick out a bunch of photographs that I really liked, like physical
Yeah.
photographs of like street scenes, but from a car, you know?
Yeah, fun.
And then I would draw them all in ink, but I would draw them really small, and I would kind of like pick random photos, and then you just like rotate the page as you go, and so it ends up being
onto
like,
it.
yeah, you just keep going, and it
that's
ends
a
up.
cool project.
You could do it sometime. It ends up being like a really interesting city.
Remind me about that, please.
I think I am.
Like this combination. That's such a cool idea. I'm actually like dying to try that now. I think I'm gonna give that a shot this week.
You should try it. It's really cool. It's very freeing in a way, because you're not thinking of a single scene. You're just kind of like going and rotating and
rotating it like in a circle.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I would go in a circle. Sometimes I would go up. Sometimes I would go down. And then I had a lot of, since these were like images from a car, I ended up having a lot of fast food places. And so it would be this mixture of like people, and then you would see like these big signs.
That's cool though. I really like that. I bet it's also a really cool exercise in seeing how things can fit that you wouldn't normally think would.
That's a good point. Working with scale, and then working with things that look different far away than maybe up close.
Right. That's a really fun project idea.
I can't like express enough how much I love the rocks that you're adding on.
Thanks. Me too. I think I should add.
You should save that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Like, don't use it?
You could use it. It's just that like I would love to see like 3 more of these.
The dark ones?
Of like the entire piece.
Oh.
Like you could totally frame these with a nice mat and have like this style carried over across like multiple frames.
That would be fun. Like different scenes.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. I just like the dichotomy of the like day-night stuff.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There's no smaller one of that?
I can cut it smaller. Or I could use this.
Oh, you have other mountains too. Oh yeah, there you go. Or go with the big one if you like it. You could do the big one and then maybe even add something else here.
I didn't like the way the big one was cutting off all the wind I already made, so let's see about the smaller one. Or is that too small now with the wind?
Oh wow, look how cool that looks on the screen.
Oh yeah, it does make it look fun.
It changes it a bit.
Not as cool in person.
It looks cool in person. Just
No,
like,
I know what you mean. It gives it this like finished kind of glowy look.
yeah, it's like otherworldly.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a message.
Can't wait to send it. Is she still here? God bless her. No, I think she left. It is pretty late, 10 o'clock. I think we're gonna finish it up because this is the story of my life. I think I will have to finish this on my own time, but I already feel like I got a good direction going. And I definitely want to add more ink in. I'm like inspired by all the ink work you did on yours. It looks really good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, that's it. End of crafting cocktails. Thank you guys so much for coming and crafting with us or watching, participating. That's always fun. And yeah, the best part of this really is just like making time to do this. I had so much fun.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah,
I love
thank you for
how
being
your
my
piece
co-host.
came out. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
really, thank you. I love how yours came out too. I think it's really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should put this up somewhere. I think it would be like a cool decor in your house. You should frame it.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do think so. I really like the ink work.
It's awesome to be able to just come out with something.
Yeah, and isn't it cool that it's like started with the magazine stuff? It really does kind of give you like a fun springboard to work off of, right?
It does.
This was a great idea. Thank you. I had so much fun. All right, so we're going to close it out. And I will see you guys next week, and I'll show you the finished product of this during the week. If not tomorrow, we'll see. how inspired I'm feeling to finish this up. But all right, thanks guys, this was fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye.